Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. In tonight's stream, I want to give you guys an update on what's going on with the Bitcoin dump and also with F2POOL. Obviously, today has been a little rough, but honestly, not that bad. Now we're seeing a little bit more sell-off. So what is the deal? Is it going to continue? Is it going to end? What's going on? Well, that's what this stream is all about. So thanks for tuning in. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel. I know a lot of you guys are new to the channel, so make sure you hit that notification bell. Actually not hit, but subscribe to me or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. And let's get started. There's not a lot to talk about right now versus this morning, but I did find a few interesting things. So I did want to share with you guys, and overall, I'll let you guys decide what is going on. So now Bitcoin is at 52,250. So I think compared to this morning, it was about the same, maybe a little bit lower, but we know that this morning things started coming down, right? Obviously, a lot of you guys know, I discovered that F2POOL was selling off mass amount of Bitcoin on Sunday, and it really, it didn't really affect the market until today happened, until Monday hit, and then we went from 58,000, we started sliding down, right? And we did have a flash crash. So that I believe that was after the stream where Bitcoin, you could see, boom, went down to 46,700. That may have been after that may have been before, after, I forget. I'm streaming all the time, so I lose track of time. Plus, maybe I drink a little too much. But yeah, that happened. Not only did that happen with Bitcoin, look at Ethereum. Ethereum went down to $700. This was on Kraken. It fell down 700 to 700, over 1,000 points from this morning. So, yeah, so we definitely had a flash crash. So yeah, that's what happened. So why did it happen though, right? Is it F2POOL? Yes, of course it's F2POOL. And I can even prove it to you guys. I mean, this is so obvious. You could see like right here, right? From 58,000 down, you can see boom. And then it comes up and then down again, boom. And then now what we're seeing, right? So you could see almost like a head and shoulder pattern, but not really. But if you imagine this is the head, and you look at the outflow from F2POOL, and you'll see that it's 100% correlated. So there's like absolutely no doubt what's going on. So you could see that this started this started right before Bitcoin at 58,000. And then you could see right here, right? You can see boom, boom, and then it goes up, boom, right? So this flash crash that happened over here, you could see right here. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit because it may be harder for you guys to see right here. But you could see that, okay, so this was peak about 58,000, right? This happened, started coming down, and you can see this boom. This doesn't show you that flash crash like this, right? But this point is this point, and guess what? There was another 1,100 Bitcoin sold. So that's why. So whoever from F2POOL or F2POOL themselves took this and just leveraged it and just dumped it on the open market to cause this to happen, right? And then Bitcoin came up a little bit, down, and came up a little bit, and now we're seeing a little bit more weakness. But why? Why? Because honestly, when we started coming up, I started looking at the sell volume, and it kind of drained out until I realized, well, they did it again, but this time a lot lower. Now, just an hour ago, or 2 hours ago, I actually created a video newsletter for my Patreon members, and crypto quant was down, so I couldn't see this data. For some reason, their system has been wonky recently. I don't know why. It's not like millions of people are trying to jump on crypto quant at this point. But you could see that they did sell off another 500 right around here, right around 54,000-ish. That's why Bitcoin came down a little bit. That was like right around this point, right? So it does seem like they're running out of ammunition. You know, their cells are getting lower and lower and lower, and there's just not that much left, right? And that could be because, well, I mean, why the market isn't even down more than it is could be because of Michael Saylor and him buying. You know, I know people said that he's supposed to be programming some bot to buy 2,000 Bitcoins per second or something. I don't know if that happened. I don't know if that's actually going to be on the spot market. There's a lot of questions behind that. You know what would really help with this whole situation? Because some people started questioning like whether or not this has something to do with Michael Saylor himself to drive the prices down so he could buy cheaper. You know what? One thing I don't think Michael Saylor ever did was reveal his address where he holds his 4 billion plus Bitcoin. I don't know if he wants to be transparent and show that, because if he shows what address that, you know, that stores all his Bitcoin, then people can point out exactly whether or not he's depositing Bitcoin in there or he's withdrawing Bitcoin in there, right? So that'll be an interesting thing. I don't know if he wants to reveal that, but I think he should. I mean, he's so bullish in Bitcoin, why wouldn't he, right? But and that's the thing. So I think him and maybe others are counteracting this, right? Because I kind of expected a bigger dip, especially after this. You know, I kind of figured it would kind of keep going down, but the market is strong and it came right back up, like I said, to 55,000, right? So it's costing F2Pool more and more Bitcoins to keep this down momentum going. They're fighting against they're going uphill basically right now because they don't have that much Bitcoins left apparently. Otherwise, they could just keep selling 36,000, 36,000, 36,000. They're not. It's decreasing. So it seems like they're just going uphill right now. They're trying to push a boulder uphill, and there's only so much they can push before it just comes down and steamrolls them down, right? So that could be right around the corner. So obviously, what happened today was pretty bad, especially for longs. I mean, I showed you guys this morning, but I double checked this and it got even worse. So in terms of BTC liquidation longs, about 1.4 billion, and Ethereum longs about 642 million. That's a huge amount, right? So this really hurt the longs. So it almost seems like this was done on purpose just to liquidate the longs, like have a massive long squeeze. But, you know, relatively speaking, on looking at the entire market, you know, obviously Bitcoin is down, but you look at the altcoins, a lot of altcoins are actually doing really well. A lot of you guys are ADA fans. You'll notice that ADA is barely moved at all. Barely moved, only down 3%. Even Polkadot is down only 7%, which is less than Bitcoin. So some altcoins are doing really well. So, you know, earlier today I was looking at, are there really like on fire flash sales kind of altcoins out there? Not really, especially when you compare it to Bitcoin. Some are a few percent lower than Bitcoin. I mean, they fell a few percent lower. But overall, I mean, things are still holding very, very strong. So going forward, you know, it'll be interesting. This morning I just said it. We still have 4 days left until futures expiration, right? So will this continue? Will F2Pool keep continuing to put on the sell pressure and keep driving things lower so that, you know what, they could profit on this, like a huge short position with Bitcoin futures, right? Will they keep driving it lower, or will we see something like a huge recovery, maybe a huge short squeeze that would just decimate F2Pool? Could we see that possibly tomorrow and on? Who knows? We could. So we'll have to see. But F2Pool seems like their selling is decreasing. Seems like they're losing ammunition. But you know what? What I would love to see is Michael or Elon or someone else with a significant amount of money in Bitcoin do this, but in the reverse, do a huge short squeeze on whoever is behind this. They definitely have it. Like I suggested this morning, and Michael Saylor, rather than try to do his, bot purchase of 2,000 every second or hour or whatever it's programmed to do, Just put in one order of $1 billion. Just put that on Coinbase. It will cause Bitcoin to go up like $10,000 and squeeze every short seller there is, including who's trying to make a bet on this, and they're going to be losing like crazy if that happens. But I don't know if he's going to do that. Probably not. But, you know, that is something that I would love to see. All right, so that is the update I want to give you guys. Obviously, I'm trying to look at F2POOL, trying to look at their Twitter, and they blocked me. So, you know, those of you guys that don't know, if you get blocked and you simply log out, you can see what they're doing. So looking at it, they pinned what BitBoy said on February 10th, and they said organized FUD. And obviously, they banned BitBoy, they banned me. Anyone that said anything bad about F2POOL is getting banned, right? But we know they're behind it. Whether or not it's the team itself or whales that's on it, I don't know, right? Combination of both, don't know. But yeah, I encourage all of you guys to go and reply and tweet F2POOL and ask them just what the hell is going on. The more awareness there is, the better it is. That's what I always said. Now, I saw this. I don't know if Michael is referencing what's going on or he's just making a general statement, but I saw Michael also tweet this yesterday in terms of what happens when all the publicly traded Bitcoin miners stop selling Bitcoin and start buying to HODL, using publicly issued equity and debt to cover their expenses. I don't think he's referring to F2POOL. I don't think he's oblivious. I think people let him know already. But he's talking about like Mara and Riot and all these guys, right? And Mara did purchase more Bitcoins. And of course, they're simply holding. But you know what? I think we need to let Michael Saylor know, or maybe make him say something or do something. He's the only one that seems to have the $1 billion on hand to be able to do it. So I don't know if that's a reference to this. Maybe not, but I thought I'd mention it because this is about mining. So what should you do at this point? I guess that's the $1 million question, right? So this is what I did, and it could be completely wrong, right? And right now it's looking like it's not so good, but it could turn out for the better tomorrow. So obviously yesterday when I created my videos, I told you guys what was going to happen, what I think is going to happen. Take some off the top, take some profits, right? So some of you guys did that. Actually, I think a lot of you guys did that because I see a lot of comments and stuff saying, thank you, you saved me thousands and stuff like that, right? So now we're getting to a point where I think it's like a 50-50. And I even said this in Patreon, even though that was a couple thousand higher because before I saw the F2POOL outflow. But we're at the point where, you know what, you look at F2POOL, obviously their ammunition is getting lower, right? If you look at some of the indicators on the charts, also shows that there could be a turnaround. And like I said, you know, starting with tomorrow, who knows if Michael starts buying and other people start buying, right? So I think we're at that junction point right now where it's okay to dab a little bit. That's what I did. That's what I did. So I took a significant amount off the table yesterday. I said, take some off the top. That's what I did. So out of what I took off, I dabbed in a little bit because I was looking at some of the stuff that sold off, and honestly, they didn't sell off that much. Just a little bit, a few percent, 5-10%. Nothing was like down like 30 or 50 or 80% like the good old days. It's not like that at all. The market is very, very strong. So what I did is started to dab back a little bit into some of the ones that I do like, you know, the ones that I think will have a great recovery. And you know what? And I think that's a smart move at this play, and here's why. Because we could be seeing a reversal pretty soon. If we don't, right, then we dollar cost average down. If we do, we're better for it. Like I always said, it's really, really, really hard to time top and bottom. I know a lot of people always wait to the exact top or exact bottom to try to do a play. But you know what you're supposed to do is dollar cost average, because that's how you find true top or true bottom, right? So it's really, really, really hard to say if we're going to just keep dropping to, I don't know, let's say $40,000 and wait until that exact point, because it could just turn around and you'll miss out, right? It's the same thing selling on top, although we did have a warning about top because we saw this happen. Rarely do we get advance warning that something like this happens and Bitcoin hasn't started moving yet. So actually, this was actually one of the rare occasions where we did know what top was, like almost exactly. But bottom, it's really, really hard to point. So for me, at least, I start dabbing in. I still have a lot of what I sold off in cash, but I'm starting to dollar cost average a little bit. Obviously, if things go down more, I'm going to keep cost averaging, and that's what I'm doing. So that's what I'm doing. Now, you know, as for the sale coins, right? I said there's not a whole lot that's really, really significantly down, but there are good discounts going on right now, and a lot of them I covered. You know, a lot of the ones that's on like big protocols, the big caps, you know, like Binance Chain, Cardano, Polkadot, these guys, Chainlink, you know, these big caps, slightly down. I'd say they're a pretty good pickup. Also, a lot of the DeFi projects that's on Binance Smart Chain, they're a pretty good pickup, right? And a lot of the mid caps I've covered over the last few weeks, they're slightly discounted. They're also pretty good pickup. Like I said, nothing is hugely cut off, not like 30 or 40% discounts, but there are some. So I decided to dab in them. All right, so that's pretty much an update. It looks like F2POOL is still trying to do what they're doing, but they're losing ammunition. So it seems like this could be the last of what they can sell, at least for now. Otherwise, if they really want to drive things down, I think there would be a lot more sells at this point. But you could see besides the 1100 one, and then the 500 one, it just seems like it is kind of dying down, right? So tomorrow, if the buying pressure leaves, we could definitely see a good recovery. All right, so I'll turn it back to you guys and do some Q&A. I did miss some super chats, which I appreciate. Let me scroll to the top. Culinary asked about a project called Sync. Never heard of Sync before. Too low. Volume too low. That's under 1 million volume. That's like no one's looking at it right now. So I would say this project is too early, man. What else is there? Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of comments. I wish we could short squeeze F2POOL or the whales. I mean, the way to do a short squeeze is just you do the opposite. You buy a ton. That's why, you know, we should let Michael know, you know, he's in a position to do a huge short squeeze on whoever's doing this, and maybe Elon, right? Man, I would love to see that happen. You short squeeze them once and for all, and that's it. Man, that would be amazing. I forgot to move my camera back. There we go. There we go. C1 audio, I don't quite get what you're saying, but I appreciate it, I guess. I don't know if what you're saying is good or bad. All right, what else is there? SAS Crypto, appreciate it. Saw the super chat. What else is there? Ray asks, there's a new project came out on BSC called Shield Protocol. Interesting name. Very, very low cap. Two-factor authentication. That'd be a server class P2P architecture. Okay. So they're a two-factor. The decentralized two-factor mechanism. I guess that's interesting. But right now, it'll be really, really hard to get people to switch off of Google Authenticator and Authy. That would be really, really hard to do. But maybe over time. Interesting thought. Because those two apps are centralized. So, interesting thought. Yeah, Chef asked, what do you think about the drop on Kraken? Yeah, that's what I was showing about Ethereum. Ethereum dropped uh, to 700 on Kraken, right? So it seems like it's coordinated. The Bitcoin drop was on Coinbase, but Ethereum was on Kraken. So I don't know. Unfortunately, Crypto Quant can't track outflows of ETH right now. It can only track outflows of BTC. If it can track outflows of ETH, I bet you would see something similar. You just have like a huge, outflow. Maybe they'll add it, or maybe there's some other service that has it. So hopefully we'll be able to see it later. But right now we just can't see it. But it seems like they chose to dump ETH. ETH on Kraken. Colin asks, how do you feel about Atom Cosmos? Amazing call. Thank you. Atom is interesting. I actually covered them recently. They came out with Stargate, which is an interoperable bridge between Ethereum and Cosmos. So that's fantastic. No, I'm sorry. I take that back. No, it's not them. It's someone else. Cosmos came out the Stargate bridge where all chains that's built with the Cosmos SDK built on the Tendermint consensus could talk to each other, which includes Binance Smart Chain. Binance Smart Chain is actually built with Cosmos, but they kind of separate themselves. So, but theoretically, it can talk to Cosmos main chain and other chains that's built with Cosmos. So it's pretty significant. So I think that's why it's doing pretty well right now. What else? Clay, thank you for that. Appreciate it. I don't like Budrig. I don't like SafePal. If you look them up, they were hacked not too long ago. So, I missed it, but I don't really like SafePal. What am I drinking? Just water. I'm trying to be a bit healthier, keeping clear head. Yeah. Does today's action of the ADA hold a strong change your opinion of his future? No. Why would it? I was never negative on Cardano. In fact, my Cardano video about it going to $25 is still doing very hot. Here's the thing. These big caps I mentioned, right? They're going to go far because of the fact that Bitcoin is not stopping anytime soon. So why would any of these big caps or a lot of these altcoins stop? Bitcoin's going up 10x from here. So I have no reason to doubt that if Bitcoin goes up 10x from here, Cardano, Polkadot, Binance Chain, Chainlink, all these guys will go up with it, if not more. I think it's a good chance they could go up more and stand on their own. So my stance hasn't changed. But yeah, I mean, it kind of shows you how many people really love Cardano. They're holding strong. I have no idea what Polls is. Polka Starter? I'm not sold on Polka Starter because it's not a new concept. So there was another project that did the same thing. Same thing where you're basically trying to crowd raise, but this is built on top of Polkadot, obviously. But there was another one that came out in 2017 that did the same thing and they just died down. So I can't remember the name. So, I mean, it's an interesting concept, but I've seen others that have not done well. So I'm not sold on it. I may change my mind on Polka Starter later on. Claudio, thank you. Appreciate it that you changed your name. But anyways, appreciate the name. Dip token, don't know what that is. Probably some decentralized insurance applications to make the purchase and sale of insurance more efficient. Okay. Not my thing. not interested in decentralized insurance. Not really interested in insurance at all, but I guess a decentralized version. Bridge Mutual is also an insurance company. Honestly, I'm not fascinated with insurance companies at all. Paid network. Where are they? Business tool good for your needs, encompassing smart agreements, escrow. I think I've seen this before too. Yeah, so I think they handle insurance also, but they also do business contracts and it's like a business. I don't know what do you call it? A business. A contract's kind of like where I don't even know how you define it. They help businesses do certain things. You could create business contracts, you could do resolutions, you could do insurance. There's a lot of stuff you could do on it. I don't even know how to categorize it. Just like a project for businesses. So it could do well. Again, I haven't looked into them enough, but just like insurance companies, this doesn't fascinate me at all. Not one bit, actually. Sheep Stacks asked, do you think another mining pool will ever short squeeze F2POOL? I think they probably think about it. I don't know if they have enough to do it. That's the thing. I think at this point, the secret's out. People know F2POOL is behind it, right? But who is behind F2POOL? Is it really F2POOL themselves or someone else, some other whale that's doing it? We just don't know, right? But the only way is more data, more awareness, or we just freaking squeeze the hell out of them and just drive them out, right? So got to figure out a way. You got to have it's collective power, kind of like the GameStop squeeze where everyone starts just buying and buying and buying, right? And it could be a combination of retail investors and institutional investors, everyone getting involved and just destroying them. Or you could have an individual like Michael Saylor or Elon that just says, hey, I had enough of this. I'm just go destroy them. That can happen too. But yeah, in terms of what you're saying about other miners, maybe. Alex asked about Elrond. I think Elrond is pretty promising. Up and coming, fast protocol, sharding is done, and they have a lot of partnerships. They have a lot of partnerships with a lot of other blockchains, and they're getting involved with DeFi too, which is good. Kyle asks, will Graph succeed in moving into DOT ecosystem? Could they enter Binance chain? They could. I mean, DOT, I don't think they're in a hurry to. They don't really need to. They just help projects come out with APIs. Now, Chainlink and others, they're on Ethereum. So it's really, really costly to make calls right now. So I'll be interested to see what Chainlink does. Chainlink should really utilize a layer 2 solution. No one really talks about Chainlink at this point. So I'm wondering what they're doing behind the scenes right now. Shrooms asks, how do you feel about Dash? They're doing good in Venezuela. Let's just put it that way. But I don't like them because they're a privacy coin. And I think all privacy coins are going to get delisted from exchanges. And then it's going to be really hard to trade and make money from them. Goat Ninja, do you really think Michael Saylor and Elon Musk aren't fully aware of this? They gain from this. Not really. They're playing a long game, but they're playing a dangerous game too. You got to realize there is a lot of scrutiny. There's also a lot of risk, right? Obviously, I don't think any of us think that Bitcoin's going to fall significantly from here. You look at Michael Saylor's dollar cost average. It's like $30,000 or something like that, maybe even less, right? No one thinks that Bitcoin's going to fall down there. But if they don't, or they actually encourage stuff like this happen, right? It's going to drive a lot of people out. It's going to drive other companies out. And if something disastrous happens where if Bitcoin does fall because of all the manipulation, he has everything to lose. He put all those convertible debts out there, right? So I don't know. I think they may be aware of it. I don't think they actually really encourage it. I don't think they want to see it to gain from it, but they may not do something about it. But if they did, it would be fantastic. We know Elon hates short sellers. He hates short sellers because they've been shorting Tesla for years. So maybe he'll step in and do something. But, you know, his quotes recently saying Bitcoin is overpriced doesn't help things, but who knows? He's done stranger things. Bruce Wayne, appreciate that. What else is there? What do you think about Algo Rand? They're okay. I'm not really that fascinated by them. Another promising protocol founded by someone that's very smart from MIT. You know, they seem okay, but I kind of like other projects better. There's a lot of protocols out there that seem to have a lot more momentum, so I kind of like them a little bit better. So, SAS Crypto, thanks again. Will Theta be listed on Coinbase? Well, they would be a terrific add-on. Theta is a terrific project. They really lead in the decentralized streaming space. No one comes close. So I would love to see that happen. So they have a lot of traction. I really like Theta. What will be the lowest for ETH? I have no idea. I have no idea. Mark, what are your thoughts on Zilliqa? Interesting that you asked, because someone just told me about how they're partnering up with some stable coin. I didn't look at that news, but I know Zilliqa has a roadmap coming up. They're doing pretty good things. Unstoppable Domains came out of Zilliqa. Also, they're starting to dab into DeFi a little bit. They have a lottery system for staking. They're coming out native tokens and this new stablecoin news that I haven't researched yet, but I just heard of. So yeah, they're looking like they're executing. You know, honestly, I gave up on Zilliqa years ago because the founders left, but since then they've really picked up. So I'm really impressed with their progress. Harry Potter, yes, I have. In fact, I just looked at Orin Protocol, and I actually just wrote about them today. Well, I didn't write about it. I did a video on Patreon. I actually think they're a pretty good project. They actually look like they're pretty good. They have formed good partnerships, and they are a new style of DEX that brings liquidity from both centralized exchanges and DEXs. So they're pretty good. Avalanche, Chris asked about Avalanche. I'm not really a fan of Avalanche. I've looked into them. They seem like they were overhyped, and now they're taking a breather. But yeah. Rob asked, what do you think the end of the year price for ADA is? Well, seeing if Bitcoin goes up 10x and everything else goes up 10x, right? I think ADA can do more than 10x, like 20 or 25x. So my video was about Cardano going to $25. And that was at the end of the year when Bitcoin is at $500,000. So I could definitely see that happen. Thoughts on Mainframe? I haven't looked at the rebranding. I never liked Mainframe to begin with, so I don't know if the rebranding really helps them at all, but we'll see. All right, that's it, guys. That's it. So overall, the update is F2POOL seems to be losing. They seem to be losing ammunition. They are dumping, but it gets lower, lower, lower. So tomorrow could be interesting. Like I said, today, like right now, at this point in time, you know, could be one of those points where we do flip, because if they stop selling, there's no more selling pressure. Tomorrow, maybe Michael starts picking it up. We could see a big recovery. So what I did using some of my profits is I dabbled back in, right? Rebought some of the ones that I sold off before, some of the ones that are on a discount, and I still have some left on the table just in case. If tomorrow we see more sell-offs, I'm going to buy more. That's the point dollar cost average. If not, we go up. Great. No harm, no foul. You know, everyone's making money, so who cares, right? So kind of win both ways. That's what I'm doing. It's up to you guys, but right now, F2POOL, we'll see. I know I keep saying we'll see, but I can't refresh CryptoQuant fast enough to see if there's more sell-offs. So I'll let you guys know what's going on tomorrow, and hopefully we don't see another day where we see a $1.4 billion liquidation and $642 million liquidation on the longs. Hopefully tomorrow we see the opposite, where we see the shorts get liquidated, and hopefully, yeah, we get opportunity to short that F2POOL whale too in the future. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. As always, smash up the like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, hit that notification bell, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Check out my Patreon page if you want to chat with others and get some exclusive content. And check out my Teachable page if you are brand new to Bitcoin. And stay tuned to my stream tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right, have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.